Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are fine. Today we are going to start our second year botany. The first unit is plant physiology. So you in the first year you are studied that there are different branches of science, branches of botany. One of the branches plant physiology. So in the physiology what we learn that what is the mechanism is going on inside the plant body that we are going to know detailedly. So in our plant physiology there are six chapters or six subtopics or six lessons are given in our first unit. That is first is transportation in plants. We know that the transportation of water takes place through the xylem and transportation of food materials and sugars they takes place by the means of phloem. So but how the process, what are the processes involved, how it takes place inside the body that we are going to study in detail. Just we know the information in the previous classes but we are going to detailedly study about the what are the what is plasmolysis and diffusion, osmosis, what are the how they takes the nutrients, whether they take nutrients they are pushed in the plants or they are pulled into the inside the body. So and second chapter is mineral nutritions. So plants they take different types of nutrients, micronutrients and macronutrients, which are helpful for their plant growth and development. So how these nutrients are taken by the plant and what happens to the after entering into the plant body, what is going to be happen with those elements that we are going to study in the plant nutrients. And next is enzymes. How the enzymes, so enzymes are nothing but the substances which enhance the reaction. If one reaction is there, so glucose forms the glucose 6 phosphate. To enhance that reaction, to speed up that reaction, one enzyme is required, that is hexokinase. Like that, and how the different types of enzymes, competitive enzyme mechanism, how the mechanism enzymes work, and classification of enzymes, and that we are going to observe in third lesson. And next is photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the major plant major uh, photosynthesis is a major process which happens in the plants. Because of that only they are known as universal food providers. So how this, previously you have the idea of that light reactions, dark reactions, chloroplast, they are the sites of photosynthesis, and how this process is going to be happen in detail that we are going to see in this lesson. And respiration, after the formation of food materials in the form of glucose or starch, how they are going to be convert into the ATP, that is energy source, that is ATP, how they are going to be converted, how the food materials are going to be oxidized, and the process involved process like glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. So that we are going to observe in the respiration. And last lesson is plant growth and development. In this chapter we are going to deal with the different kinds of plant growth hormones, auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, and abscisic acid, and different types of how we measure the plant growth, all these things, and what is the effect of different plant growth hormones we are going to observe in the lessons. This is the plant physiology. Before that we know the general information, only information we have with us. So detailedly we are going to know how this process happens in the plant body. So I am going to start with the photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis process. So we have the some information, and you have site of photosynthesis chloroplast, some information you have with you. So we are going to start the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis in higher plants. Before dealing this topic, So we have in our early classes, you are studied some experiments in 10th class or like that. We are studied some information we have with you. So that once we are going to recollect. So what is the photosynthesis? Photosynthesis, simple, if you ask the simple definition, preparation of food material by the plants, they simply say. But at this stage we say that, so conversion of light energy into chemical energy, so solar energy. Otherwise we can say that plants, they prepare the food materials in the presence of plants. They prepare by taking the water and by taking the carbon dioxide in the presence of chlorophyll. They prepare the complex substance C6H12O6, that is glucose. Okay, by using sunlight. They capture the sunlight. These plants, they capture that, they take the sunlight, and by combining water and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, they are going to form the complex substances, food materials, that is glucose, and they release the oxygen. At the same time, water is released in the process of photosynthesis. This we know that. So here the light energy is converted into the chemical energy. How it is going to be happen? And for this there are several scientists are there. So some you know that the half-leaf experiment. Half-leaf experiment, it shows that the half-leaf experiment, what we are going to prove that, so we are going to put a plant leaf into the bottle containing the potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide absorb the carbon dioxide, and ultimately due to lack of carbon dioxide, half-leaf is carbohydrates are not formed outside leaf, which is exposed to the light, so they forms the carbohydrates. This experiment earlier classes you are studied. So carbon dioxide is necessary, that proves. And next Priestley, he did lots of experiments to know the role of air in the process of photosynthesis. So his experiment, Priestley, his experiment is known as Bell-Jar experiment. So in this Bell-Jar experiment, what he did that, so he in the Bell-Jar experiment, he put in a bell-jar. It is a glass bell-jar. He put a candle which is lighted due to the presence of oxygen. After a few minutes, it is going to be turned off because due to lack of oxygen. And second, he placed the small mice which is alive. So both they are, after few minutes, they are going to be, mice is going to be dead, and this candle is going to be turned off because due to lack of oxygen. We know that. But at that time he don't know oxygen or carbon dioxide, but he proposed that some gas is released by these plants, plant and living plant and burning candle. They somehow damage the air of the bell-jar, and with that they are going to be light is going to be turned off, and this is going to be dead. When he placed the mint plant, small mint plant, when he placed the mint plant, small mint plant, he observed that, so they are this is lighted and mice is going to be alive for somehow. It is going to be. So he postulated, he hypothesized that the gas which is released by the harmful gas, which is going to be damaged by the bell-jar, that harmful gas is absorbed by the mint plant, and so it releasing the gas which is essential for the survival of plant, survival of this mice and candle. So that is, we know that the plants restore the carbon dioxide and they release the carbon, they take the carbon dioxide and they release the oxygen. That oxygen is used for the survival of both. So this Bell-Jar experiment, it is very important, because so with that several scientists try to work out on the photosynthesis process, how it is going to be happen in the plants. So this is the one of the milestone experiment. We can say it is a milestone experiment in the photosynthesis. And next is engine house. The name of the scientist is engine house. So he did the he said engine house. He said that oxygen is released. Oxygen is released by taking the aquatic plants, and we know that it is a hydrolytic experiment. By taking the aquatic plant, by conducting experiments on aquatic plant, he proved that oxygen is byproduct of photosynthesis. Oxygen is released in the photosynthesis. Then scientist C.B. von Ney, he proposed the he did by taking the sulfur bacteria. He studied on purple bacteria, purple and green bacteria, purple and green bacteria, purple and green bacteria. So he proposed the whatever the equation we are studying, 6CO2 plus 12 H2O in the presence of light and chlorophyll. Our plants are going to prepare complex carbohydrates C6H12O6 and formation of water, and oxygen is released into the liberated into the atmosphere. Okay, this is the equation is proposed by von Ney. So he did experiments on the purple and green bacteria. Not only this, he concluded that whatever the oxygen is released in the photosynthesis, that is coming from the water only, not from the carbon dioxide. By taking that, instead of water molecule, he used the hydrogen sulfide. So when he used the hydrogen sulfide, the released gas is sulfur is liberated instead of oxygen. With that he proved that so oxygen is liberated from the water molecule only, not from the carbon dioxide as anything. And so his experiments on purple and green sulfur bacteria. Next, then what is the, we know that the these reactions, where they take place. So these reactions, what is the site of photosynthesis? Simply we say that what is the site? The site of the photosynthesis is chloroplast. Chloroplast. So where these chlorophyll pigments are present? Chlorophyll pigments are present in the chloroplast. Chloroplast is the cell organelle, double membrane. You are studied the structure of chloroplast in the first year. Chloroplast is the double membraned cell organelle having outer and inner membrane. Outer and inner membranes. Outer membrane, inner membrane. Insides we have a sac-like structures. Sac-like structures. Okay. These sac-like structures are known as what? Grana. So this sac-like structure, this total sacs are arranged one on the other. The total is known as grana, and single one is known as thylakoid. Single one is known as thylakoid. And this total is filled with a liquid. Whatever the liquid is present inside the chloroplast, that is known as stroma. Okay, and it is a semi-autonomous cell organelles. So 70S ribosomes are present, and DNA. Okay, and this is the site of photosynthesis. So ultimately our starch granules also there. Okay, this is the structure of chlorophyll. So where our chlorophyll pigments, chlorophyll, there are three types of pigments are there: chlorophylls, carotenoids and phycobilians. So all these pigments are present in the plants. So chlorophyll pigments are present on the thylakoid. We know that if you take the single thylakoid, if you take the single thylakoid, so it is a double membrane, and inside the thylakoid place is known as lumen, outer membrane, inner membrane. In this membrane, our pigments, that is chlorophyll pigments are present. Chlorophyll pigments are present on the thylakoids. Chlorophyll pigments are present in the thylakoids. We know that there are major different types of chlorophyll are there. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll B, C, D and F. 7 types of chlorophylls, and bacterial chlorophyll A, bacteria, viridin. These are all the types of chlorophyll pigments. Okay, not only this, carotenoids and xanthophylls are also there. So what they will do? They capture the light. Light is absorbed by these pigments. So site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, where it takes place. What is the site? What is the exact location? So the site is chloroplast, because the chlorophyll pigments are present. Chlorophyll pigments are present in the where? Chlorophyll pigments are present in chloroplast. So this is the site. So we divide that photosynthesis into mainly two types. That is light dependent reactions. Light dependent reactions. Light dependent reactions means the reactions which takes place in the light only. The reactions which can occur in the presence of light. Without light, there is no formation of, there is no occurrence of these reactions. And light independent. So photosynthesis reactions can be divided into light reactions and dark reactions. These light dependent reactions are known as light reactions, and these are known as dark reactions. So these light reactions takes place in the particularly grana, especially if you say that the site is thylakoid. Okay, particularly thylakoid. So they takes light reactions happens in the grana, whereas this stroma is responsible for the enzymatic reactions, that is dark reactions. Dark reactions takes place in the stroma, whereas light reactions takes place in the thylakoid or grana. So all the enzymes which are required for the formation of sugars, for the formation end of the dark reaction, we are going to get sugar, or this is the nothing but starch. Okay, end of the dark reactions we are going to get the end product, dark reactions. And this is called as Calvin cycle. You can say this is Calvin cycle. Where the Calvin cycle takes place? In the stroma only. Calvin cycle takes place in the stroma. Light reactions takes place in the light reactions takes place in the grana. Okay, and it is also known as C3 cycle. C3 cycle. Why we are saying the C3 cycle? The first product which is formed in the Calvin cycle, that is 3-PGA, phosphoglyceraldehyde, which contain the 3 carbon atoms. That is the 3 carbon atoms. So 3 carbon atom compound is synthesized, first stable compound in the Calvin cycle. So that is the reason we call it as a C3 cycle also. Okay. Photosynthesis, there are two types of reactions. Some reactions are depend on the light. Without light, there is no formation of ATP and NADPH. These are the assimilatory powers. Photophosphorylation. Phosphorylation means synthesis of ATP and NADPH2. So synthesis of ATP and NADPH2 takes place in the presence of light only. So once again, so this is the structure of chloroplast. We know the structure. So outer membrane and inner membrane, periplastidial space, and inside a sac-like structures are arranged like a coin-like manner, one upon the other. So that is known as grana, and these are connected with the stoma lamellae. This is also important because here the PS2 system, PS1, PS2 is located in the thylakoid membrane, but PS1 only present in the stroma lamellae. Okay, so this is the thylakoid. This is the single one is known as the thylakoid. Group of thylakoids is known as granum. So these are connected with the stroma lamellae. The fluid which is present, that is known as stroma. So stroma, it is responsible for the enzymatic reactions, that is Dock reactions. So after formation of ATP and NADH2, there is no requirement of light. Without light also the reactions can go on. So that is called light independent. Without, in the presence of light or in the absence of light also, they form the sugars. So by that process is Calvin cycle. First time Melvin Calvin, he explained that cycle. And it is also known as C3 cycle because first stable compound in the Calvin cycle is phosphoglyceraldehyde. Okay, so this is the site where the photosynthesis takes place. So in the photosynthesis, we need carbon dioxide, light, and chlorophyll, and these are the water. So all the things are required. So this chlorophyll is present in the chlorophyll special cell organelles. That cell organelles are known as chloroplast. Chloroplast are the cell organelles where the chlorophyll is present. And next is, what are the types of enzymes? What are the types of reactions?